Here's what you can expect in March based on your zodiac sign, specifically your rising sign. And if you want a more personal look into my year ahead reading on ellieremo.com. Aries are big main character energy this month. We're having the last eclipse in Aries, and we're having some retrogrades that are impacting Aries in a big way, specifically Venus and Mercury. So you may be experiencing some miscommunication, some mental health stuff coming up, and troubles with your self-esteem and appearance. This is not the best time to be changing up your appearance, but you may find yourself wanting to revisit old fashions, which can be kind of fun. This push and pull between yourself and your relationships will be ending, and your relationship with yourself will come out stronger in the end. But you will also be beginning a new cycle that lasts a few years around your relationship with money and the money you share with others. Taurus, you may be going through some mental health and some issues with communication around that topic, as well as old enemies returning and potentially even romanticizing those old enemies. So it's important to keep an eye on that pattern. You will be ending that cycle of physical and mental health in order to focus more so on your friendship and your hobbies. So things will be getting a little easier in that area, but it may take a few years to see what those new cycles are. Gemini, you will be wanting to revisit old friendship, for better or for worse, and there may be miscommunication around both career and friendships during this month. You'll be ending old cycles and starting new beginning related to friends versus love and the push and pull that you may experience there. And you will be starting a new cycle of endings and beginnings around home versus career and the push and pull that you may experience there. You may have gains around career and you may find yourself working a little bit more, and some of your attention may shift away from home and family. Cancers, you may be feeling a big desire to take a break, especially from work and career, and you want to travel and go on vacation or start school or do something new, but you feel kind of forced to focus on career and such. There may be workplace miscommunication, but also it's not the best time to travel, so I would hold off on it just a little. And you will be entering a new cycle of changes around your spiritual beliefs. Leos are ending a cycle of changes around their spiritual and personal beliefs and some cycle of growth and learning, and opening up to new change around finances and other people's finances and how they impact you. So be sure to keep an eye on those things over this month, but also over these upcoming few years. There may be some miscommunication around debt, around money, around banking, and around your partner's finances if you have a partner. This is a bad time to travel, and you may experience fear of loss and especially fear of losing the one that you love. Virgo, relationships and partners' money is going to be a little rocky for you this month. Not the best time to start communicating big important things. I would maybe put that off a little. You may even have exes returning, and not always for the best. But maybe it is. You have to feel it out and feel into what's right for you. There is a new cycle beginning that leads you a little bit more into focusing on relationships and a little bit less on self. So you may need to learn to meet somewhere in the middle and still be the independent, self-focused, hobby-focused person that you are, but find a little balance. There may be miscommunications, however, and be cautious of people who are returning. Make sure they are for your best. Libra has a big love life focus right now, but not always easy. It can definitely be miscommunication and you feeling like you're miscommunicating yourself because of that ruling planet being stationed retrograde. But at best, it can definitely be relationship healing and kind of going over past issues in your relationship to improve, or even understanding a past relationship to improve and move forward. We'll have a focus on health that's awakening, and so some of the focus on you versus others is wrapping up, like some change that you've had around relationships and your relationship with yourself seems to be resolving in order for you to then focus on your health and mental health. But with it comes the topics of enemies, secret enemies, and not so secret enemies. So that's why it's important to be cautious of the people coming into your life right now. Scorpio, you're going through this weird struggle of hobbies versus work and how those things are struggling and how you may need to find balance around those things. Maybe having difficulties creating, especially if you are an artist or a writer. Your health may be improving. Like some of the rocky cycles you've been going through will be ending around health. You'll be going through big changes around your friendships, your hobbies, your creativity, and even romance. So focus more on romance and hobbies and such, but there may be a change that's coming around that area. Sagittarius, you are entering this new cycle of this push and pull between home and work. The old cycle of the focus on your friendships and your hobbies and your communities, it's ending, and you're actually asked to put your focus on your home and family and how you can build a stable future and a legacy for yourself and for the people in your life. That may still include working for career, but it's like finding this middle between. How do those two areas of your life that can often feel quite opposite sit and separate? How are they connecting right now? You may have ideas and passions from the past that are reigniting, but there can be miscommunication right now, so be careful. Capricorn, you will be going through some family miscommunication, both siblings and parents and people that you live with overall. And your personal beliefs are going to start being shaken up in a big way. You may soon find more grounding around career and family. The family issues that were pulling you away from your career's dreams and goals may be resolving this month, even if you've been going through them for a few years now. Aquarius, you will be revisiting old topics with friends, family, overall communication, and even like learning and neighborhood. It will show up in that way in some way, as well as old money matters popping up that you thought you had resolved. You may want to repurchase things you got rid of. You may regret purchases that you have made. And there can be like nostalgia and spending money for nostalgic or emotional reasons. You're ending a cycle of change around your personal belief and bringing in one of change around money and the money that you share with others. Pisces, you have more of a focus on self-love and focus on the self coming in. That can be hard because Pisces are typically described as martyrs, and so there's a big desire to focus on the people in your life, but where life is taking you right now is to focus a little bit more on how you connect with yourself and to still have loving relationships, but learn to have a balance where it's not giving away everything for someone else. You'll also be a little less focused on money and survival. Communication can be a little iffy with the retrograde, the Mercury retrograde specifically going on, and it will be in the first house of self as well as the second house of money, so keeping an eye on the bank issues and how you communicate around those issues. Venus will be stationing retrograde, but it's also going to be exalted in your house. So it's like there may be some big self-love energy, but you may have things from the past coming up that challenge that. So be patient with this change. And of course, just make sure not to overspend.